money, 2 for the dough, 3 for the shorty. Now I don't blow. 1 for the money, 2 for the dough, 3 for the shorty. Now I don't blow. 1 for the money, 2 for the dough, 3 for the shorty. Now I don't blow. 1 for the money, 2 for the dough, 3 for the shorty. Now I don't blow.
She told my love that love. She talks out the coco. She want know the coco. Yeah, but I want to give you some love. She talks out the coco. She still want know the coco. Yeah, if money no day, now wait till she get. She tell me say she got run away. She got run very bad away. Yeah. As the rubber don't day, the baby come the mail. See the baby don't come again. You don't forget back in the days. I've been the beg you to try.
It's a beautiful day and I hope your day is going well. The program is In and Around, where we showcase everything of unique interest. My name is Ene Hassan. Today's episode promises to be really great as I have one very special guest today. But we'll take this quick break. You get to meet my guest right after.
Yeah, I go out there, I'm a mock and what time they go, because I pull up in the bottom jas on. I pass my kick out, I go talk about what car is on. It's even like a similar walk, past life and I look at it, go on. And about the book I jab on. Pino on your highway, here is the highway, Omaka highway, Shalom na highway, oh I'm the highway, to be on a highway, and a trouble, but I'm a highway. Look on the one,
The Nigerian Prize for Literature is the biggest literature prize in Africa, with its winner taking home $100,000 every year. The Nigerian Liquefied and Natural Prize usually honors published books, rotating it annually among 4 genres. We have poetry, pro-fiction, drama, and children literature. 2019 was for children's literature. The winner for 2019 is a Nigerian writer and filmmaker, Jude Idada. He was awarded the sum of $100,000 for the Nigerian Prize for Literature 2019 for his book Boom Boom, a wonderful novel that explores the concept of sickle cell. He's our guest today on the program. Now let's make welcome Jude Idada. It's a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you for having me.
All right. I'd like to ask, how was it like for you when you won?
Well, how was it like? It was great. It was a validation that I had strived for. So it was worthy of celebration, both internally and externally. So I didn't like scream or whatever, but internally I was really happy and just grateful for the opportunity. Yeah, because I had been shortlisted a couple of times before that for other books, and longlisted too. So it was more like finally kind of thing, because after when you strive, after a while you feel that maybe it's not in my style, maybe I'm not supposed to. Yeah, but then it was also instructive that for other people who were watching or who were witnesses to my journey, that it said, you don't give up, just keep on knocking at the door and all of that. And also, I was also happy that I won it because of I won it on the occasion that the subject or the theme or the central topic of my book was sickle cell anemia. It's not like my other books weren't worthy or weren't good, but I was just happy that it was something that was more, it has a certain civic responsibility to it, that I was fighting for something that was externalized. It wasn't just a story, it was actually a story that was going out there to achieve a purpose.
So is Boom Boom your 3rd book?
No, Boom Boom is my 7th book.
Oh, 7th, wow.
Yeah, I'd say my 8th book actually. Let me say 8th actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so what inspired you to write the book Boom Boom?
I wrote Boom Boom, so there was primary and there was secondary inspirations.
Oh, okay.
Primary inspiration will be that I had wanted to do something, as I said earlier, something that was not of me, something that was about me giving back to society or being active over an issue that society was being plagued with. It so happened that was sickle cell anemia. So on the primary level, that was, my predisposition. On the secondary level, it was more like, at that time, the OAP, Buckner, I think was had just died of sickle cell anemia. So of course there was that sadness in the air and everything. So it took me to that place where it made me remember all the friends I had lost over my time on Earth. I'm not yet dead, but you know what I mean. I had lost, and then that made me think about what can we do to address this plague of sickle cell anemia. Also on that same secondary level, a friend of mine in Canada had, since we're on TV, I'll just make it very fast.
Okay.
A friend of mine in Canada was single like I am.
And, you're still single?
Yeah, I'm still single.
Okay.
And not available. And and people like me at this age, when you're single, a lot of people are trying to always matchmake you, always telling you about these women somewhere who they want to get for you and all of that. And if you live abroad, which I also do, I live in Canada, people come to you and they say, hey, there's this girl in Nigeria, even your parents. So that was what my friend and I were of that same group or category. So they told him about this lady in Nigeria who was a doctor and tried to matchmake him with her and all. And he hadn't really he actually met the girl on a Friday and married her the next day. He just flew in, they showed her the girl, they talked for like 2 hours and they just went ahead with the marriage. So before then he knew that the lady was of the AS genotype, and he also had the AS genotype.
Wow.
And his mom had done all that background for him, and we had.
He still went ahead.
Yeah, we spoke to him, and he, and he's in the medical practice himself.
Yeah.
But he's a born again, tongue speaking, demon defeating, Holy Spirit's filled, and all of that. And we kept telling him, no, don't go ahead with this stuff. And he was like, no, God will not visit on me, this, all of that. He really believed it. Well, fast forward to a couple of years after. They have 2 girls, and the 2 girls have the SS genotype.
Wow.
So, and I was in Toronto at that time. I had gone around, and one of them was having a crisis, and she was in the hospital, and she was crying. I don't know if you've ever seen them in crisis. It's a very horrible thing to behold. And she was crying, and she was like, Daddy, why me, why me? And he kept saying, oh, God knows best. God. And I looked at him, and I said, but this is not on God.
No,
this is on
all.
you.
Yes.
You took your own decision, even when you were aware of the information. So it now occurred to me, I said, maybe we were talking to people at the wrong time. We're talking to people when they're about to get married, when they have blinders and their ears are deaf. They've invested so much emotionally, financially, time-wise, even in this relationship. So I said maybe we should start talking to them at an earlier age.
Yeah.
So that's also informed my writing the book about sickle cell anemia, and it's addressed to it's a family book. So from 8 years old, you can read it and understand it and, get this groove. But I also wrote it in such a way that's also a crossover fiction, so parents can also read it.
Okay.
So the goal is that it should be that kind of, you can speak around it, about the book around the table, both parent and child and all of that, so that there's that cross-semination of information and all. So so those were the 3, let's say the 2 primary and secondary, and in the secondary level, obviously we had 2. And so that's it.
So what has the reception been like for you since you won the prize money?
Well, it's been like 2.5 years since I won it. The money is finished. It's done. It's gone. But of course, as you know, because you won that amount of money, a lot of people, want a chunk of it. You have family, you have friends, you have all of that, you have investment, all of that. So that is by the way. But for the prize itself, the NLNG Nigerian Prize for Literature, or the Nigeria Prize for Literature sponsored by NLNG, as I said, it gave me validation. It also gave me exposure, in terms of the light shown on me. It's not like I wasn't writing before. People didn't know me, but it took me into a new hemisphere of adulation and, followership and readership. And then the issue, as I said, of sickle cell anemia has been able to also, well, I'd say I'm not taking all the glory or whatever, but in my own little way, I've been able to push it into another level of, societal information and sensitivity. So it's been great. It's been great. I've been having a lot of interviews like this, speaking to children in school, even having international events where, because of COVID, obviously it has to be virtual. And all of that. But it's been incredible. I'm so happy that what it has done, it has done. Right now I am part of the University of Iowa. They have this international writers program they do,
Oh.
and because of I don't know why I was nominated, but I think because of that, because
Definitely.
yeah, this year they are saying literature as a part of healthcare, you know, as
Due
a
to
part
the
of taking
COVID.
literature to advance issues that have to do with health and all. So that's incredible, and I'm writing on other diseases, on Ebola and all that kind of stuff. So Boom Boom has done, you know, it's
a
lifted
whole lot,
the
yeah.
bar and pushed me.
So how have you been able to get the book into the schools to make sure it's been included in their curriculum?
Well, the book presently has been used in schools like University of Lokoja, Kogi State University Lokoja.
Okay.
I think it's Kogi State University
Yes, Kogi
Lokoja.
State.
I think University of Kebbi or Kebbi State University.
Wow.
So I'm always mixing them. I don't know if it's University of University of Sokoto and several other places where people call me and they're like, oh, your book I'm using for my project and I want you to, you know. But on the secondary and primary school level, which is where I really had wanted it to go.
Because of the 8-year-old
8-year-old and
or
9 or psych, yeah.
Okay.
You know, I've tried my best possible to get it into the curriculum, but it hasn't been successful. So I'm giving this out there to people who have the power to make it happen. Please, they need this book. Children need to read this book. And the only way they can read it is if it's part of the curriculum. It is I'm not blowing my horn, but it won a prize. It's the Nigeria Prize for Literature. So it's well written, well edited. It is topical. Please, if you are out there, you are a gatekeeper or you are the person who makes the decision, please pick Boom Boom by Jude Idada and put it all out there in the curriculum so that the young and even the old can read it and be informed.
Okay, you've heard Jude. Boom Boom needs to be included in the school's curriculum for the kids. Okay, we'll go on this musical break. Enjoy the Masala Kids. There you have it. That was the Masala Kids entertaining us all the way from Uganda. And if you're just tuning in, the program is In and Around. And I have been chatting with Mr. Jude Idada. He is the winner of the Nigerian Prize for Literature 2019, and it's been awesome with him here. Okay, now, how did you create the characters in the book? And how did you come up with the story?
Yeah, it's interesting. The story is, we call it faction, so it's fact and fiction. Yeah, so Osaik is, modeled after my nephew and Ege Boom Boom after my niece.
Okay.
So what I did was I took these real characters and then I put it into a storyline that was also real in its own way. So there are like several storylines. I cut them and I joined them together. So there was really somebody who had sickle cell. There was really a mother who died. But they were not of the same family. So I took it from different experiences and I put it together just to be able to push the narrative and hook the emotional appeal of the story.
All right. So now, how will you rate Nigerians in the aspect of our reading culture? Would you say we have improved?
Well, it's interesting because we are reading, but we're not reading like how we used to read in terms of the form and the nature of our reading. Now we're reading on Facebook, we're reading on Instagram, we're reading on Twitter. You know what I mean? So it's social media, instant reading. When
Just
I
a
say
short
brief,
piece,
you know what I mean? Before we were reading more long form, you know,
Go to
pace
the
setters,
libraries
go to
and
the library
all.
and all of that. So we are reading. We haven't stopped reading. Just that the kind of things we're reading has changed. You know, also there's a multiplicity of entertainment outlets.
Okay.
So reading is now struggling with in the same entertainment mind space with watching films and listening to music and everything. So now it's harder to get someone to read because reading is solitary. It takes some time to get satisfied, and it's not as sexy as just listening to music, just like the music you played in the interlude.
Yeah.
It's immediate and all of that. The person just listens 2 minutes and can go ahead. But now you're giving them this book and you're saying
You're going to
dedicate
sit
X,
down
Y,
and-
yeah. So there's that challenge of it. But of course, there's reading for school and there's reading for leisure. Obviously, reading for school is there. But the question now is that when you read for leisure, it qualifies. You're reading for school. So you see a lot of Nigerians are very educated, but we are, sorry, I'm not dissing my countrymen, but we are finding out that we are educated, but we're not socially and mentally enabled. So what the things we read, because we read it for school, we just input output and we deposit it and we just move ahead.
Yeah.
Because it's a test-based system. So as long as you pass the exam, it's all well
That's
and good.
all.
But when you read for leisure, you actually educate yourself. So I think that is where we are lacking because we're not reading for leisure as we used to before in the days of the Shoyinkas and the Chinwas and you know, Noah Kali and all those people. When they were writing quality literature, you see that the Nigerians of that time, they were very well educated, they were very well schooled, and it showed in their enunciation, their pronunciation, their communication skills, and their ability to comprehend. You know, but because now we're reading just to pass exams, we are not as educated as they were. So I am not dissing the Nigerian, but I think that we
But
should
that's
read
the
more.
fact,
We should read more leisurely, so that art in itself, because art is supposed to entertain, to educate you, enlighten you, inspire and motivate you while it's entertaining you. So I think we should read more of that. But we still have writers, young writers, who are doing great things, and there's still a section of the country still reading. But I wish and I pray and I hope that more of us will go back to reading.
So how would you encourage reading?
Well, things like what you're doing, you know, things like what the Nigerian NLNG, the Nigerian Prize for Literature, is doing. There's several other prizes. There are even journals like that are brittle paper that are up on the internet. And I think that we should also, we the writers, also have to learn to write what people want to read in the form of how people want to read. So since we know that they have short attention spans now, let us start writing more flash fiction that are value added. You know, you're just only writing, as I said, you're not only just writing to entertain, you're also writing to educate. So I believe that the way we can push the reading culture even further is to change the mode of writing, not in the entirety, but also write in addition. You know, more companies should come out and do what NLNG is doing and other, like GT Bank and other people who are coming into the mind space to sponsor literature festivals and literature events and book prizes like the Kuramu Writers Prize, which is being sponsored, a Million Naira Prize and thereabouts for unpublished writers. So because the truth about it is that we're in a developing economy and people follow the money. You know, so it's sad, but to get people to come into that writing space, you just have to dangle some carrots to them. So if the civic society out there, government in their own way, policies that are publishing friendly, tax breaks and all of that, grants, you know, that you can give writers to be, because writing, as I said, is solitary. So if you can tell me that I can apply for 50,000 naira, 100,000 naira, and I can take 3 months without thinking of my house rent and just go write, it will go a long way. So so a coalition of both public and private sector participation.
Tell us the Nigeria of your dream.
Well, I am a Nigerian through and through, proudly Nigerian, unrepentantly Nigerian. I believe that Nigeria, I want to say Nigeria is the Wakanda of the future, but we're even greater than that Wakanda. We are something great that is waiting, that was happening, something happened to us and we stopped happening, but we will happen again. So I believe that we'll be technologically advanced, we'll be socially cohesive, we'll be culturally, will I say, we're culturally innovative. We will be the benchmark of the black experience. I believe that 200 million people unleashed into the world will change this world. So I want to tell Nigerians out there, your tongue is very, very powerful. What you say brings reality into life. If you keep cursing this country, if you keep saying there's no hope for this country has finished and everything, it will really come to pass. But if every day you wake up and you bless Nigeria, you say, oh, we are going through challenges, but it will be good for us. Nigeria will be great.
Definitely.
Just keep on saying it over and over again. We will love ourselves. Technology will improve. Our economy will rebound. Just keep on confessing that stuff and you'll be amazed in 1 decade what will happen to this great country. We are great. Nigeria is great. We are black. We are powerful.
And we're proud.
And we will rule this world.
Wow. Nice, lovely. I have been chatting with Mr. Jude Idada, and he has really inspired us today talking about his book, Boom Boom. If you haven't read the book, please try and read it. Where can they get it again, please?
Yeah, Boom Boom can be got on online platforms like
Okay.
Amazon, Okada Books. It can also be gotten in the hardware bookstores like Roving Heights, which is both hardware and online on Instagram, Book Peddlers, Paresia, Terra Culture, Pataba, Booksellers in Ibadan, Bookville in Port Harcourt, and sorry, there are so many I can't really remember them. But just go out there and ask. And you can find me online. My name is Jude. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, but you can find me online, and if you reach out to me, I can see how I can facilitate it. But just Google Boom Boom, and I'm sure you'll find somewhere close to you that you can get it.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming.
so much for having
It's
me.
been a pleasure. You've really inspired us today.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see this feature on the power and importance of reading.
Great readers make great writers, whilst great writers make great communicators, and great communicators make great persuaders. And you know what great persuaders make? They make good societies, and that's what this world needs. I think that it's totally crazy that all anyone ever talks about is games, TV shows, WhatsApp, Instagram, Bitmoji. I don't even know what that is. My brother just told me about it. WeChat, Kiki, Saraha, and I could go on forever. Studies have shown that some kids these days even spend 6.5 hours on a screen a day. I think we should draw attention to this problem. However, not reading can even result in making your brain less active or engaged. Just over the past year, I've enjoyed reading Winnetou by Carl May, the Harry Potter series with 8 books, Roald Dahl series with 12 books, and the Unwanted series with 7 books, and many single books in between. Some I've liked less, some I've liked more, but they all took me for such an adventure. Ask my family members. I'm a truly unhappy child when I don't have a good book to read right next to me.
While very inspiring, reading improves your concentration and focus. That's why it's very important to read. Now, on entertainment, let's relax and see the slow-mo challenge that is trending.
Baby, no go mind them, just be whiny. So me say, ciao, Jawa. Look into my eyes, oh baby, Jawa. Will you be my wife, oh baby, Jawa, baby? Oh yeah, raga, for me, Jawa, Jawa. Look into my eyes, oh baby, Jawa. Will you be my wife, oh baby, Jawa, baby? Jawa, my baby, Jawa, my baby, Jawa. You no go mind them, just be whiny. So me say, ciao, Jawa. Look into my eyes, oh baby, Jawa. Will you be my wife, oh baby, Jawa, baby? Oh yeah, raga, for me, Jawa, Jawa. Look into my eyes, oh baby, Jawa. Will you be my wife, oh baby, Jawa, baby? Me say, ciao, Jawa. Look into my eyes, oh baby, Jawa. Will you be my wife, oh baby, Jawa, baby? Oh yeah, raga, for me, Jawa, Jawa. Look into my eyes, oh baby, Jawa. Will you be my into my eyes, oh baby, Jawa? Will you be my wife, oh baby, Jawa, baby? Oh yeah, raga, for me, Jawa, Jawa. Look into my eyes, oh baby, Jawa. Baby, no go mind them, just be whiny. So me say, ciao, Jawa. Look into my eyes, oh baby, Jawa. Will you be my wife, oh baby, Jawa, baby? Oh yeah, raga, for me, Jawa, Jawa. Into my eyes, oh baby, Jawa. Will you be my wife, oh baby, Jawa, baby? Oh yeah, raga, for me, Jawa, Jawa. Look into my eyes, oh baby, say, ciao, Jawa. Look into my eyes, oh baby, Jawa. Will you be my wife, oh baby, Jawa, baby? Oh yeah, raga, 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 for me, Jawa, Jawa. I go mind them, just stay whiny. So me say, ciao, Jawa. Look into my eyes, oh baby, Jawa. Will you be my wife, oh baby, Jawa, baby? Oh yeah, raga, 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 for me, Jawa, Jawa. Oh baby, Jawa. Will you be my wife, oh baby, Jawa, baby? Oh yeah, raga, 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 for me, Jawa, Jawa. Look into my eyes, oh baby, Jawa. Will you be my wife, oh baby?
Now, everything trends on social media, and when this slow motions challenge came, I actually thought it was an app, but as time went on, I saw that it was not an app. They were actually doing the slow-mo thing. Well done, guys. All right, this is where we would like to wrap up the program, and I hope you've been really inspired like I am. For comments and contributions, you can call us on 08039554831 or send a mail to enibene@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching. See you again in our next episode. I am Ene Hassan. Stay safe. Bye.
Zero, zero.